Welcome back. We're talking safety and security. But just before we get into, we have a special guest today. Before I introduce him, we got this very interesting mail from a Danfo driver. He says his name is Clifford and he's a Danfo driver. And let me read it out so that the authorities that are watching can take note. He says, I'm a Danfo driver. Please, why is there no bus stop after Iyanoworo until Anthony, and after that you can't see bus stops again until Isolo? Where will bus drivers drop their passengers? That's from Clifford, who says he's a Danfo driver. Please, authorities, take note. And so we have in here a special guest, but what's he coming to talk about? Nigeria has been bedeviled by ethno-religious conflicts with devastating consequences since the return of democracy in 1999. The rate of insurgency by the northern-based Boko Haram group has continued to pose a serious threat to Nigeria's security, and it's believed that this group's activities are spreading to the southwestern part of the country. But to help us understand this entire conversation and what's happening,
not Ondo State,
is the Oluwo of Iwo land in Osun State, Oba Adewale Akombi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Now, at one time, you were quoted as saying that this insecurity, the fact that it's spreading towards the southwest, is tied to the fact that some politicians and some traditional fathers are sponsoring these activities. Is that correct?
Not exactly sponsoring that I meant. What I said was that when people deal in things that attract, especially we have gold in some parts of Osun State, and when people are involved in it, we have to know that what we are involved in is what's the criminal side of it. Then the people that are getting attracted to this mining are like people from that have been removed from north, from maybe, but north is still Nigeria. But then we have foreigners coming in who are not even Nigerians. And we don't have a database system in Nigeria. It's very unfortunate for this nation that we are not, all the database are not connected. The police, Air Force, Naval, Civil Defense, they don't have a database that everybody in Nigeria should be inside. Nigeria should come to a side of what we call a police state. Yeah, because it's a disappointment that a nation that is seen as the leader of all black nations in the world. We are the most populous nation in the world. And every black nation is looking up to Nigeria to lead. But we don't even have a database. That is very, very bad.
You seem to take this matter very seriously.
Yes.
Now, suppose you were the one to lead this drive to ensure that we do get our national identity card.
Yes.
How would that be?
We must enforce these laws. And we have to be asking police, immigration, even civil defense can be asking the citizens when they find them on the street, I want to check your ID. Because there are people who came from war-torn countries now. They are in Nigeria, foreigners. People from Libya, they are blacks. From Libya, from Mali, from the deserts of Mali, who have been, there is a fight there now. Like, United States is getting involved. Many other countries are getting involved, fighting these rebels. They are moving from there. Where do all these weapons coming into Nigeria comes from? A Fulani man who is only doing his own business of cattle rearing, how did he get? And most of these Fulanis we're talking about, Fulani has been in Oyo State, in Osun State, since when I was born, over 50 years ago, even hundreds of years, centuries. Fulani has been living with us. In my place, my forefathers, Oluwo Lausa, which is the king, brought Fulanis, Hausas, and Tapa to our domain over 450 years ago, and there were no problems. So why? And there are many other things blown out of proportion. Like Osho State is secured. When you see stories, people don't tell what's going on. Like something happens 4 days ago, they say, oh, it's a Fulani that killed somebody. No, it was an armed robbery. And they blow this man's hair off the face. It was an armed robbery. Our police, yes.
If I may come in here, you said something about people coming in and the need for security agencies to ask people for identification.
Yes.
So there was an accident along the road in Lagos around 7 up. And it turns out that the guy who caused the accident is not a Nigerian.
Okay.
He was asked for his driver's license. And he brought out an Egyptian driver's license.
That's it.
He's not Nigerian. Maybe the authorities should have asked him, where is your residency permit or where is your driving permit?
And he should be deported.
That wasn't done. But you as a royal father, what can be done from that angle of the royal fathers? Because every Nigerian is from a community. And they all listen to their traditional rulers one way or the other. So how can the traditional rulers help in curbing the insecurity?
Traditional rulers can help if the federal government can help the traditional rulers also. How much are the traditional rulers getting paid in the Southwest? Or anywhere in Nigeria? I don't know about other places, but I know about the Southwest. We pay peanuts. Money that is not, if I tell you, I can't tell you my pay, you will cover your face. I can't tell you that right now. Because it's so bad financially for the traditional. You want them to get involved in security issues, but nobody is helping them. If I'm not saying that security votes of the governors should be shared with the traditional, but traditional rulers need to be empowered. We are naked. There is no security. There is no protection. The monarchy system is being protected in Thailand, in England, in the UK. Nobody protects us. Anybody can say anything to a traditional ruler. Nobody gets. And I have a staff of office. The governor delivered to me. So why am I not being protected? Why are we not being given funds to help in securing the land? We need funds. Traditional rulers need some security, both from the federal government. The federal government should do that to provide funds for the. Believe me, if you do this, even the money, even if it's 10 naira, at least you know you are guilty of working. You must work for that 10 naira.
Kabisi, we'll just take a moment, go on a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll continue this conversation, curbing the insecurity situation in the country from the institutional point of view. Join us again. Welcome back. We still have Oba Adewale Akombi, the Oluwo of Iwo land here in our studio. We're talking about insecurity and how to curb it. Kabisi, the issue of the traditional stew helping to curb insecurity. Growing up and in my village, I know that there are some things that if you do this, there's a punishment that comes with it. And then people get scared. In fact, they fear even the traditional stool more than they fear the governor.
Because the governor is far removed. He's in the state capital. But you are in the village.
So how do we get back to that point where maybe let's look at the punishment system, the reward and punishment system? Would that help in any way? Besides the issue of, we'll get back to the database matter. Would that help in any way?
Yeah, it will help if there is a very strict penal system in Nigeria. We are not civilized yet to start thinking about lenient way of punishment. Kidnapping in Nigeria is like 10 years jail time. And if this person gets into jail within 1 year and starts saying, oh, I'm a pastor, I have changed, they will just release that person. No, we are not civilized to that stage yet. During Wild West in America, do you know what they do? It's either they hang you, kill you, They are the one that makes us to know there is a shooting range. Do we know about shooting range before? Who made us to know about shooting range? Go back to history. Wild West, this strict laws. Human rights cannot work in Nigeria right now. We are not civilized to that. When kidnapping should attract 50 years or start giving them death penalty. Death penalty must be when you kill, they kill you back.
Wait, Kabiyesi, you know there are a lot of people that will fight you for this kind of statements you're saying.
Let me tell you, human right is not it doesn't work for an uncivilized nation. It only works in a civilized world. That's when you get, these people have codes that are, on the street now in America, when you drive like a stop sign and when you go over it, do you know what they do? They give you a ticket. That ticket is almost equal, when you get 2 or 3, it's equal your pay in a month. And
you will sit up.
There is no way they will garnish your pay. When you know that your pay is being garnished, you won't do that again. Death penalty must be in Nigeria. There must be strict. There are many people who are animals. They are not real humans anymore. This is a country that you can see people's hand, people's private parts, all over the place, in people's houses, in their hands. How do you kill somebody? You are thinking about voodoo of promotion. Do they do that in the West? This is an uncivilized nation. This is we can't be continuing this, and we have a problem with the youth too. The youth have a problem which is called FFS, the follow syndrome. They never want to change. Let me tell you, do you know why you were born? Everybody should know why they were born. Do you know why you were born? You were born to make a change. Everybody is born to make a change. If you do not change anything, you are not a leader. You are still a follower. Everybody, if you want to be a leader, you must take off that follow syndrome and know that when you come, you must bring a change. I want to go back to that because I really want to lead this campaign for the national identity card. National identity card must be in Nigeria, must be enforced. Every Nigerian must have it. If you are a foreigner, we must know how you are in this country. We must know what you are doing in this country, where you come from. If you don't have anything, get deported. Our borders must not be porous anymore.
But Kabiyesi, Nigeria is such a vast country, and there's so many porous borders. We hear that in the north alone, there are over 1,000 entry points in Nigeria.
You're wrong from saying that. Nigeria is a small country. Nigeria is not even up to the size of Ontario. Ontario is only one province in Canada.
True.
Canada, and they secure their borders. Nigeria is rich. Nigeria can secure its own borders. It's a very small country. We're very small. It's not up to the size of Ontario. Just one state, one province in Canada.
Not even up to Texas.
Not over. No, we're over Texas.
Okay.
I'm talking about Ontario. Okay. Ontario. We have 10 provinces in Canada. I have a dual nationality. I'm also a Canadian by citizenship, and so Nigeria is very small. We can do this. If
you're challenging government now.
I'm challenging them to. There must be a database that connects all the security arms of Nigeria, and they're calling about state trooper. All our state troopers, which is the Federal Road Safety, should be harmed.
Okay, but Kabiyesi, how about working? I know you talked about the federal needs to do something.
Yes.
How about the state governors?
Yeah.
What are they doing? We do understand that governors in the Southwest have reached out to the army and the police on the need to increase efforts to stop the insecurity in the area. But is that enough? Are they working with the traditional stools to help to...
let me tell you, about my stool in the 60s, I was one of the ministers without portfolio, the Oluwo Of Iwo. Minister without portfolio. What we need in Nigeria is not reconstruction that they are talking. restructuring that they are talking about. What we need in Nigeria is devolution of powers. That's what they practice in UK. We say we are following the UK system, but what are we supposed to? We're supposed to follow that devolution of powers. Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, all have their own powers, but we are part of one. We will be part of one Nigeria, but then the powers must go all the way to the states. But that's called devolution of powers. People calling for restructuring. We are Nigeria. We are agreed to be part of Nigeria, but what we need to do is devolution of power. We will still belong to Nigeria, but everybody states can make their own laws. States can make their own money. Then there will be competition.
And then they will pay tax to the center.
They will pay taxes. Then there will be competition. Every state wants to be great. Every state wants to be greater than the other. That's how you do it. That's how you build people. We can't all hang to the federal government. How many people from the grassroots can see Buhari? But when devolution of powers must go, that's what they do in UK, and it's working. It's working.
But while we're waiting for the federal to devolve this power,
yes,
what can the states, what should the states be doing in consonance with the traditional stools?
Actually, like the governor in Osun State, we are very close, and we work together. The police, they're doing a great job in Osun. But our problem is just the national identity card. The federal government must enforce this. Every Nigerian, they must give them a time. And then our penal system is too weak for the kind of mindset that we have. The mindset of Nigerians, we are not civilized yet. We are not close to civilization. We are still in the dark ages. Yes. So we need to move from that. You will see older people trying to tell the younger ones that we are better than you, we are the most wise and sound, and the younger ones will be like, and especially will follow, oh, I'm going to follow my father's way. Your father that doesn't have a cell phone, your father that cannot even, your father can't even, an Android phone, he can't even operate one. Did your forefathers see a tablet? They didn't even see, some of them didn't even see an airplane. So who is going to be smarter? Yeah, history, we can reference to it. But you can't apply history to the present. The history can be updated. Everybody write their history every day. I write my own history every day.
Yes. Have you engaged with the vigilante groups in your area so that this problem?
In our area, my area is safe. I'm going to tell you, Osun State is relatively safe. There is nowhere in the world that you won't see crime once in a while. In America, everywhere, some people just go crazy, some people are depressed. Yeah, but they are blowing many things out of proportion when it comes to Osun State. The only thing we are talking about is the influx of people who are looking for this gold. Sometimes when they don't get it, they go into other crimes. Yeah, if they can't get it, they go into other crimes. And if they have arms with them, but when there is national on our land, let me see your ID. The traditional rulers, they are not counting them as so important in Nigeria. And before, it was not like that. Traditional rulers used to be part of the government. Commissioners without portfolio, ministers without portfolio, and we can work, because I'm close to my people. Like the grassroots. Believe me, I go into the communities to see the people.
You could be accused of advocating a police state.
Yes.
Because Germany is a case in point.
Yes.
You always had to carry your ID
You
card
must.
because you could be asked for the ID card at any
And that's
time.
the largest economy in Europe.
But,
And it's doing fine.
A police state, many people are not very comfortable in a state that they would refer to as a police state.
Ilutio Sophie, SUC. there must be laws that are strict. We are not civilized yet. People that are not civilized need for them to be handled very. You can't be handling people like you're handling Americans or British
with kid gloves.
No.
Can you see?
Human rights that are talking about, they are defending. When you started defending animals, you can't be defending animals. People need to wake up and be civilized. When they are civilized, then they will know the right from the wrong. And the only way to be civilized is to let them. When you do this, you get killed. When you do this, if you want to lose yourself for your family, then you go and do that. Armed robbery, all these things, killings, it's happening. When you find a private part of humans in somebody's hand, let him go for the death penalty. We must make strict laws. Enforce it too. You have to enforce it. We need laws that's what America did back in the days. Before they get civilized, now they start amending. They start amending the laws. Okay. We are still in the Wild West. So we need right now, we are still in the Wild West. Yes. Okay,
can you see the Soji, who I'm thinking is one of your subjects, is one of your subjects. He's happy that you're on the show today, and he's saying,
"Oh, maybe Prince."
Yes. He's saying he knows that there are portions that are done to keep robbers away from people's homes.
Potions.
Potions.
Talking about voodoo now.
To keep evil away from home. Hey. He's saying, is it possible to do these potions to keep the bad eggs?
Do you know what?
Invading away from.
Do you know they said there is voodoo for money also, but we have never been a money-making nation. Shouldn't we? If we have voodoo for money, we should be producing money. And all of us should be what?
Rich.
We should be rich. If we're all rich, do you know what even the Western would be to us? They will be our slaves. So you see all those portion for voodoo.
I beg.
Believe me, somebody say I have a voodoo to move from here to another place. So why don't you? Many people wants to move from here and go to America. Do you know that even Babalawo goes to the embassy and take visa?
Oh.
He goes on the airplane. Why didn't you use that ferry? Egbe, boom. all our children that they are suffering now in Nigeria and they want to go to Canada, just help them. Pack them. If you know how to make money rituals, why don't you just do it for your family? Oh. Somebody who wants to do money rituals is living in a tattered hut. And he wants to make me rich. You are in the bush. You want to make me rich. You haven't even make your bush to be like a city. Then I should be. Come on. All those superstitions, we need to erase it from our mind. If you don't, that's the problem that is killing us in Africa.
Backwardness.
Yeah, backwardness. We just stick to that.
Can you see again back to the traditional stool and how that institution can help to sanitize the country? Many of the leaders who are out there who are not serving the people still come back and collect traditional titles.
Many of what?
Many of these leaders, politicians in public space, even civil servants, who are not serving the people that they have sworn to serve, still come back and they are given traditional titles. And that looks like a stamp of approval. How do you expect the younger ones who are watching them to think otherwise, to think about working to make it instead of stealing or using voodoo?
I've been on the throne now. I've been on the throne now for over 3 years. And I haven't given anybody what is called honorary title. The only chieftaincy I've done is traditional, which belongs to a family and it's been hereditary. When one moves, I give it to another one. Those are the only. I haven't done an honorary chieftaincy title because I need people that will bring development to my place. We give, politicians can get chieftaincy title on the promise that are you going to bring development to my. You won't get my chieftaincy title in Iwo if you're not going to bring development to Iwo. You can't take my chieftaincy title and take it to Lagos and start flexing with my chieftaincy. No way. You must promise the land. You must know. I haven't done one, but I'm piling up names of people. And when I get to them, when I send them letters that I want you to be, I can send it even to Dangote or Tedola. You must bring a Channel TV to my place then. You know.
It's the angle I'm looking at it.
And many other
some of these people.
Even I can give it to the president. I gave to the vice president one time. He hasn't taken it because he doesn't have the time now. Well, I want to extend one to him, to Tinubu. Tinubu is a very great man that I would love to give, and I know he's going to bring. Yeah.
But Kabiyesi, some of these people might not exactly have very clean records. Are you checking those records before you're piling them, or you're writing their names so that you can check them and ensure that they do not, their reputation does not tarnish that title they get?
I want you to know that you ask yourself, he who has not sinned, let him cast the first stone. Are you without sin? I'm asking you. Are you without sin?
Obviously, the question we're asking, we're talking about curbing insecurity.
We're curbing insecurity.
And we're talking about the youth who are looking at the examples they're seeing ahead of them. And they want to be like them. And some of them go through these other means of stealing, doing the nefarious activities, just because they want to make money to be like this big. Is there examples they've seen?
Yes, I have seen that.
So my question was, the question I asked initially was, some traditional rulers give titles to these men and women without checking their reputation.
Yes.
And then the younger ones see them getting those titles and go, I want to be like that.
Yes. And
then they go the other way.
You see, there are many things you can't have the mindset of man, what a man wants to follow. Though society or your environment influence many things. But at the same time, when you see somebody that can help your community, even if he has done something before, you look at his tracks record. What has he been doing after that? Like I said, who has never sinned before? People are given second chance. If God that makes the world earth, he made Satan, and he's still allowing Satan to live. Satan is still living. Yep. God, when somebody's saying to God, it doesn't mean that he will kill. If God says everybody that's saying he will kill all of them, nobody will be left on earth. So there must be ways of tracking records, second chance, but at the same time, we have to tell our youth on the leadership skills, leadership system, how you can influence. Me, since I've been on the throne, I have changed a lot. I came with a revolution, and I have changed it. You see me, the way I dress? This is what I only wear Ofi. This is Nigerian, pure Nigerian. But what I did is to update, upgrade. I didn't stay in the past. Before, it is embroidery that we use for these ones. You see what I'm using now? Swarovski crystals, sequences. That is what is called updating. We are not spoiling culture. We are telling everybody that culture should not remain stagnant. It should be prone to updating and upgrading. A doctor in the United States, if you stay out of the United States in a year, you want to go back to the United States, you have to upgrade before you can practice.
We really have
Thank
to
you.
go. Thank you so much. We've had Oba Adewale Akombe, the Oluwo of Iwo land, who's been a special guest on Sunrise today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Sunrise will be back in a moment. Please join us again.